It starts with a whisper, then a murmur, then a roar. Some mornings, you wake up, and your mind is already restless. You haven't even opened your eyes fully, but the thoughts come rushing in like a flood. There's too much to do today. I forgot to send that email last night. I'm already behind. I'm not good enough for this job. What if I fail? A cascade of anxiety, seemingly harmless, but dense, fast, and overwhelming enough that you can't tell the difference between a passing thought and your identity. We rarely realize it, but our mind works like a printer without an off switch. It keeps spitting out lines, some helpful, some hurtful, most unconscious. Here's the real problem. We don't just read the words, we become them. We don't say, "I'm having a thought about being anxious." We say, "I'm an anxious person. I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. I am the fear itself." And just like that, the thought isn't just a thought. It becomes who you are. Imagine your mind is a room. There's no door, no guard. Anyone, anything can walk in. Your parents' old criticisms, the voice of a teacher who shamed you, the fear of abandonment from a broken relationship. They don't knock, they barge in. And you think, if it's in my head, it must be true. But thoughts are not truth. They are just thoughts. And this is the most dangerous part of anxiety. It doesn't need to be true to have power. It just needs you to believe it. People often say, "I'm stressed, I'm anxious, I can't stop thinking." But the truth is, you're not trapped in reality. You're trapped in your perception of reality. You're not suffering because of what's happening, but because of what you think is happening. That's when you begin reacting to a world inside your head, not the one outside. An unanswered email becomes a rejection. A distant look from your partner becomes emotional abandonment. A small failure turns into proof that you'll never be enough. Unwatched thoughts will build entire worlds. And you, the witness, get pulled into the lead role in a play you never chose to be in. But then, something shifts. You're lying awake at night, heart racing for no clear reason. Thoughts are crashing like waves. You can't turn them off. And then, you do something small, almost meaningless. You take a deep breath, and you step back. You don't fight the thought. You simply watch it. And suddenly, you realize you are not the thought. You are the one who sees it. I see you, not as part of me, but as a visitor, a cloud, a current, something that comes and will go. That's the first moment of freedom, not when you control the thought, but when you're no longer controlled by it. And in that space, where you see your thoughts the way you watch cars pass on a highway, you are no longer a victim, you are a witness. And that is the beginning of healing. We often think that to be free from anxiety, we must control it. We have to master every thought, silence the noise in our head. But here's the strange thing. Your thoughts don't have to stop for you to be free. You just need to know you are not them. You are the riverbed. Thoughts may rush, swirl, even roar, but you, the observer, remain still. spacious, quietly holding it all. You don't try to stop the water. You simply learn not to be swept away. The problem is not the thought. The problem is identification. We grow up in a world that teaches us negative thoughts mean something is wrong with us. Anxiety is an enemy to defeat. Peace only comes when the mind is empty. But the truth is, your mind wasn't built to be empty. It was built to generate. Thought is a function of mind, just like the heart beats, the lungs breathe, the eyes see. You can't stop your heart from beating to feel calm. Likewise, you don't have to stop all thoughts to feel peace. Peace doesn't come from silencing everything. It comes from witnessing the noise without becoming it. Try this. Close your eyes. Let any thought arise. Don't control it. Don't judge it. Just watch it, like clouds drifting across the sky. Maybe it's a fear. I'm going to fail. Now repeat in your mind, I'm having a thought that I'm going to fail. That's how distance is created. You're not saying, I am a failure. You're saying, I'm having a thought like that. That's the difference between drowning and standing on the shore. Mindfulness doesn't mean you sit like a monk. It's simply the ability to see clearly without being pulled in, to watch a thought arise, a feeling swell, an impulse form, and to know, this is part of my mind, but it is not me. You don't reject it, you just stop becoming it. Let's be honest, the chaos won't vanish. Your mind will still throw worst-case scenarios, old wounds, new fears. But once you learn to observe, the chaos is no longer a prison. It becomes background. You are the stage, not the actors on it. I am not the thought. I am the space where thought arises. And when you realize this, you begin to change. Not by defeating every negative thought, but by no longer needing to fight them. Freedom doesn't come from thinking less. It comes from identifying less. You are no longer a victim of your mind. You become the silent, aware observer. And from that place, healing begins. Not loudly, not dramatically, but with a quiet knowing. I am thinking, but I am not that thought. Something strange happens when you begin to observe your thoughts instead of becoming them. The pain is still there, but it no longer consumes you. You begin to realize a thought can't hurt you unless you believe it is you. One of the most common thoughts. It hides beneath your actions, your relationships, your fear of failure. It whispers quietly from somewhere long ago. But when you learn to observe it, you can say, I just noticed. I'm having a thought that I'm not good enough. It's been there for a long time, but it's not me. And that changes everything. We often confuse thoughts with truth, but most of the time, what we think is just a story repeated so many times that it becomes the foundation of our identity. I'm bad at connecting with people. I always disappoint others. I can't trust anyone. I'm not worthy of love. These are not truths. They're old scripts, ones you've read too many times. But today, you can close the book. you can begin to write a new story, not by denying your past, but by no longer identifying with it. It sounds simple, but it holds immense power. Not every thought deserves your belief. You can choose to doubt a thought, the same way you've doubted yourself for years. You can ask, is this thought really true? Where did it come from? Who planted it in me? Do I still need to carry it? Here's the truth. The more you fight a thought, the stronger it gets. Like trying to push a ball underwater. The harder you press, the higher it rebounds. Healing doesn't come from resistance. It comes from presence. This thought is here. This feeling is here. I don't need them to go away to be at peace. You don't defeat your thoughts. You simply stop letting them drive your life. Between you and the thought, if there is space, there is choice. You can react or not. You can believe or simply observe. You can identify or just see clearly. That distance is where healing begins. Not by fixing yourself, but by letting go of the belief that you were broken to begin with. You don't need to be someone who never has negative thoughts. You just need to be someone who sees them. Thoughts will come and go like weather, but you are not the rain, not the storm. You are the sky, vast, open, untouched, where everything can appear, but nothing can make you disappear. That is the silent freedom you've always carried within. Here's a truth you need to hear, not to scare you, but to set you free. Your mind will never be completely quiet, and that's okay. You don't need an empty head to live in peace. You just need a heart that knows how to stay still in the noise. Thousands of thoughts a day, thoughts about what hasn't happened, thoughts about what should have happened, thoughts about what will probably never happen. It talks and talks and talks, and you get tired. You want it to stop, but here's the thing. You can't stop the mind from speaking, but you can stop listening as if it's always right. It's like sitting on a hill, watching the traffic below, cars moving endlessly. You can't stop the traffic, but you don't have to chase every car. Each car is a thought, an impulse, a memory, a fear. They come, they go, and you, the observer, remain, not pulled in, not triggered every time. True stillness doesn't come from an empty mind. It comes from awareness that is undisturbed. You can have a busy day. You can feel stress, fatigue, even chaos. But beneath all of that, there is a quiet center. It's like the bottom of the ocean. While the surface is stormy, the depths remain still, and you can learn to reach that depth. You don't need a perfect mind. You need a space between thought and action, a place where you're not being driven, a place where you can choose, a place where you are. Let the mind speak and let the soul listen without moving. The mind will keep talking. That's its nature. But you, the one listening, are no longer the same. You're no longer swept into every word it whispers. You can smile and say, "Thanks for sharing, but I won't follow you this time." And then you return to the breath, to the present moment, to the stillness within, the place the noisy mind can't touch. That's where you truly exist, not as someone who's thinking, but as someone who is fully alive. How long has it been since you were truly present? How long have you been living as a head full of noise instead of a heart full of feeling? How long have you believed that every thought that appears must be you? The mind isn't evil, it's just a tool, like a knife. If you don't know how to hold it, you'll end up cutting yourself. Thoughts aren't the problem. Identifying with them is the cage. Pause. Step back from judgment, from fear, from the belief, if I think this, it must mean I am this. Just look, only look. Don't fix, don't react, don't try to control anything. Just be here, with that gentle presence, like light streaming into a dusty room. Imagine a sky. Your thoughts are clouds, sometimes dark, heavy, even stormy. But you are not the clouds. You are the open sky, where clouds only pass through. You don't need to erase every thought to be free. You only need to stop letting them define you. You can't always control what the mind does, but you can choose how you live with it. You can be the victim of your thoughts, or their witness. You can be dragged along, or you can stay still. And staying still isn't a skill. It's a state that's already within you. You just have to remember your way back. Between you and the thought, there's a silence. And in that silence, you are free. You are not your thoughts. You are not your worries. You are not the voice screaming in your mind. You are the silent space behind it all. You are the quiet awareness through which thoughts come and go, and nothing can truly touch you there. Take 1 minute, just one, each day to pause, not to listen to your mind, but to listen to the silence behind it. There, you'll remember what you forgot, not a self to fix, not a flaw to correct, but you, the one who's always been here, hidden beneath the noise. If this story spoke to you, leave a like, share it with someone who feels lost in their mind. And if you want to go deeper into the journey of self-discovery, subscribe to Am I Raw? Because this path was never meant to be walked alone.